A separatist blueprint.
We want smaller government, we want less tax, but that's more a discussion between the electors and their government.
Why some within the movement disagree. Remembering a famed Flames broadcaster.
The National Hockey League presents a celebration of Peter Maher's life, the final Yeah Baby.
Story shared of the man who called nearly 3,000 games.
I knew I could trust him, and I loved our friendship and relationship.
And at the tender age of 5, reading, writing, and arithmetic.
As a mom and, as parents, I was so proud, to be honest.
A Mensa member with a massive IQ, ready to start kindergarten.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Camilla Di Giuseppe.
Good evening. Alberta's separation movement is putting its vision on paper. A new discussion document outlines what an independent province could look like, from taxes to government and individual rights. Mark Villani reports.
Proud Albertans are flying their flags in favor of independence. But one group is sending an even bigger signal, spelling out what separation from Canada could actually look like.
It's designed to get people talking. It's designed to get people thinking that, and it's also designed to get people's input back.
The Alberta Prosperity Project released this 54-page document entitled The Foundation of Freedom. It proposes an independent Alberta to be led by a president, free passports for citizens, an income tax capped at 10%, and English as the only official language. 3 levels would form governments, including a leader with veto power, an elected legislative assembly and senate, and elected judges. An elected independent body would also lead the oversight branch, giving it power to access all government documents, run elections, and investigate public complaints.
It's going to help minimize government corruption, of which we have a lot of.
The document also puts a strong emphasis on individual rights, including the right to possess and carry firearms, access and delete personal data held by the state, and choose or refuse health care.
It's a scary vision.
The leader of the Forever Canadian movement also took issues with the document's claim to protect all Albertans from discrimination, including based on, quote, lawful sexual orientation, which isn't defined.
You're looking at a combination of gunslinging Texas with very much oppressive Alabama, where no minority rights are being recognized.
How people identify is of little to no concern to me.
But some prominent separatists who are not part of the Alberta Prosperity Project say these ideas don't all fly.
It's getting a bit too detailed for what's a constitutional document. Those are policy positions. We want smaller government, we want less tax, but that's more a discussion between the electors and their government rather than having it, again, enshrined in a constitution, I believe.
Although we think that it's a bit premature, once we get to that point in time, it will absolutely be a very important part of the conversation.
A conversation that separatists hope to continue.
They have a chance right now to take charge of their future.
And a future some hope to avoid ahead of the October 19th referendum.
This really takes us back hundreds of years.
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
The Alberta Prosperity Project says within the first day of releasing its Foundation for Future plan, over 70 people gave their feedback. Well, it's being dubbed the final Yeah Baby, a celebration of life for Peter Maher, brought together family, friends, and Calgary Flames greats. The longtime radio voice of the team passed away last week, but his iconic calls and warm spirit will be long remembered. Jordan Canigan reports.
Along with the sadness, a celebration.
The National Hockey League presents a celebration of Peter Maher's life, the final Yeah Baby.
For Calgary Flames fans, Peter Maher's catchphrases are iconic.
Calgary Flames have won the Stanley Cup. We're the winners. We're the winners. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
For 33 seasons, Maher was the man behind the microphone.
You can put it in the win column. Playoff. Yeah, baby.
He passed away on August 13th at the age of 79. His funeral on Friday, bringing together those connected to the Flames, past and present.
Just a great guy. He was, of course, around us all the time, travel with us, and So yeah, I really liked him, and great guy is the first thing I think.
Maher called 2,954 games for the Flames, including the 1989 Stanley Cup win and the Cup run in 2004.
When we scored that overtime goal in 2004, and he was so excited and yelling, "Yeah, baby," that got us over the hump and so on. So I think that's the one I'll remember for.
Beyond the broadcast booth, Maher is remembered for his warmth and kindness.
Peter left us before I could let him know that he was the soundtrack to my favorite memories. His constant encouraging presence.
He was my Bible for hockey, and I trusted him with everything that I know how to do, and he was always there as the guy to give you the pat on the back.
Led by his family, his celebration of life coming to an end in the most fitting way.
1, 2, 3, yeah, baby!
Jordan Cadigan, CTV News, Calgary.
Donations and tributes for Peter Maher are being directed to the Alzheimer's Society of Calgary. Edmonton's Sikh community is in shock tonight after an early morning attack at a temple. 2 men were stabbed with what police believe was a screwdriver during morning prayers. Police say the suspect has a long and violent criminal history and had recently been released from a federal prison. Jeremy Thompson reports.
Wedding guests file out of the Nanuksar Gurdwara while a police cruiser idles in the parking lot. The Sikh community defiantly celebrating a cultural and life event just hours after an attack.
An altercation took place. He interrupted the morning prayer service.
Sikh temples have an open door policy where anyone is welcome. Just after 5 a.m., worshippers noticed a man had entered the prayer hall and something felt off.
There is a Guru Granth Sahib, a holy scripture that the Sikhs pray to, and that he went straight for that when they tried to subdue him or try to restrain him. He assaulted several members of the congregation, 2 of whom were hospitalized.
Police say the congregants managed to hold the attacker until officers arrived and arrested him. A 51-year-old and a 75-year-old man were taken to hospital with non-life-threatening stab wounds. Investigators believe the attacker used a screwdriver. The 27-year-old suspect was also transported to hospital. Police are not naming him until they lay charges, but say he has a lengthy and violent criminal history.
We've learned that he was released from a federal institution yesterday, August 20th, 2026, where he had been serving a sentence for aggravated assault and assaulting a peace officer, and he failed to report to his designated Edmonton halfway house.
Investigators say that prison was not Edmonton Max, just down Highway 15. For now, they will only say it was an institution in Alberta.
Incidents like this pose a direct threat to all Edmontonians, negatively impacting residents and the character of our city. Hate and racism and prejudice have no place in our city.
Police are still determining whether the stabbing was a hate crime at a time when hate appears to be on the rise.
What we're seeing in Canada right now in terms of polarization, politicization of certain things, leaders speaking out in different directions or not speaking out against hate, these are the things that the police are dealing with, and it's becoming increasingly complex.
Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
One of the 2 brothers who viciously attacked a city bus driver was sentenced today to 3 years in prison. Transit operators gathered at the court center to support the victim, 67-year-old Amarjeet Gruwal. In May last year, Daryl Flett and his brother Curtis Spence boarded a bus in Falcon Ridge. Spence attacked the driver with a collapsible baton, and Flett hit him several times with an edged weapon. Gruwal suffered serious injuries.
Our members just trying to be at work and be safe and make a living. You go to work, you should be able to go home, you're looking after your families and stuff like that. So the sentencing part is difficult. We don't want to be vindictive, but we want this to be a social deterrent.
Flett apologized to the victim in court. Flett will serve 18 months probation after his prison time. His brother was previously sentenced to 4 years in prison. Gruwal has now returned to work. Danielle is in with our weekend weather. It's been a great Friday, even a better Saturday.
Yeah, what a nice way to coast into our weekend, right? And if you thought today was hot, well, tomorrow will be even a couple degrees hotter. So the heat is here to stay for the entire weekend. Let me show you tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have a little more cloud cover throughout the day in comparison to what we had today. So cloudy periods, but also sunny periods at times. Starting the day off at 17 degrees at 8 a.m. That's a toasty start. Air quality health index will start out around moderate with regards to our air quality, but it will get better later in the day and will likely drop down to low on the air quality health index after 4 p.m. With the humidity tomorrow afternoon, it will feel like 30. All right, your full forecast just ahead.
Thank you very much, Danielle. A 4-year-old Calgary boy scored 160 on the world's most famous IQ test for his age group. Also widely considered to have 160 IQs, Benjamin Franklin and Stephen Hawking. Tyler Barrow caught up with Ali Aldalawi as he gets ready for his next test, kindergarten.
Peru, this one, Algeria.
After seeing their flags, Ali Aldalawi can list dozens of countries. His smarts don't end there.
He's also very funny, loud, creative, and curious. You will have to come down here, I will.
He's now 5 years old and already reading with ease, but he can also crunch numbers quickly, which is what he prefers.
Math or reading?
Math.
He's shy, but also super smart. Last fall, Ali scored 160 IQ, putting him in the top 0.1% of his age group. According to Mensa, the world's oldest high IQ society, a score of 100 is considered average. You only get to become a member if you're in the top 2% of the population or 130 IQ or higher.
As a mom and, as parents, I was so proud, to be honest.
Hassan noticed from the age of 2, Ali was curious and liked to build new things, using his imagination while asking questions beyond his age. That's why she had him take an IQ test.
Not only just a deep question, but he likes also to know the way or the things, how, connect with each other.
And it runs in the family. His 10-year-old brother Omar and 7-year-old sister are Mensa members. Their parents are earning their PhDs in computer science and petroleum engineering at the University of Calgary. When Ali gained entry last December, at the time, only one other 4-year-old was a member in Canada.
They see patterns well on IQ tests, but they see it in life. They see it in math. They see the pattern in reading.
But Ali still enjoys being a kid. His favorite soccer player is Cristiano Ronaldo, which also explains his haircut.
As a mom, I feel happy, and I feel he will do very well.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
156 kids aged 4 to 11 are in the Mensa program in Canada. 40 are from Calgary. An event was held today to help some of Calgary's most vulnerable get the care they need. We'll visit a pop-up in a downtown park where volunteers lent a hand to make life a little better for others. That's next. A group of rafters needed to be rescued by the Calgary Fire Aquatic Team after their vessel became stuck in the Bow River. It happened near St. George's Island by the zoo. The water was shallow enough for crew members to push the raft to shore. Everyone on board, including at least one child, got out safely. All appeared to have been wearing life jackets. The Walter Cup has disappeared on its way to Lethbridge. The trophy goes to the winner of the Women's Pro Hockey League. The PWHL issued a statement saying the trophy was being transported to Lethbridge but did not arrive as expected. The statement says it's working with the shipping company to track it down. It's unclear where the Walter Cup was last seen, and unlike the Stanley Cup, the PWHL does not have a person dedicated to travel with it when it goes on the road to be with players. Sports radio is gradually making a comeback in Calgary. QR Calgary 770 has announced a new sports talk show hosted by former The Fan 960 morning show host Mike Richards. The Raw Mike Richards Show will air Saturday from 11 to noon starting September 5th. QR is also carrying Calgary Flames games after Rogers shut down Sportsnet Radio earlier this year. Richards' show will be produced by Ron Tarrant, a state graduate who used to work with Howard Stern. Central Memorial Park was transformed into a festival-like atmosphere today. There was live music, interactive arts, and dozens of booths. But what sets it apart is that it's catering to Calgary's homeless and vulnerable population.
It's amazing, to be honest. It's kind of one of the things that help you feel human again.
A fresh haircut in Central Memorial Park in downtown Calgary. A first for Paul. Also new to him, becoming homeless.
It's been about a week, and kind of happened really quick. I had to sleep outside, and I got jumped by homeless people. I was just telling her, and I ended up with a fracture in my forearm.
Overhearing Paul's story is Julia, a student stylist, volunteering her time.
I think it's hard, especially in today's economy. Like, anything can switch, like, overnight.
I had a nice car, I had an apartment downtown, and sometimes life has a way of humbling you, and that's me.
And many others, unhoused and vulnerable Calgarians, converging on this one-day pop-up care village.
There is a safe space for people to coming here. They don't have to worry about survival needs. They can access the different resources here,
such as food, clothing, doctor checkups, social and mental health services.
It's really nice being here and seeing that there's a lot of support in the community, more support than I thought there was, actually.
Run mostly by youth volunteers, this free event has even a bigger goal, bridging the wider community with the city's underserved population.
How do we engage the youth and how do we engage our community in an ethical way that's not just patronizing or tokenistic?
And like the saying goes, it takes a village.
Having never been in this position, I didn't know what step one was. That's why I think things like this are important.
Even if it's just once a year. And this is the 5th year for the pop-up care village. Well, Danielle's up next with her Skywatch forecast. Lots of sunshine, warmth on the way. Then it cools off as we head into next week. Details next.
All right, we certainly had some heat today, and the heat is here to stay for the whole weekend. So hopefully you're embracing it. Okay, 26 degrees was the high in Calgary today. 29 was the high in Lethbridge and 30 in Medicine Hat. Keep in mind, all of these temperatures, you can basically tack on a couple degrees for how it actually felt with the humidity. Humidity is back once again tomorrow, so you can tack on a couple degrees as well, and I'll show you daytime highs in just a second. All right, so air quality. It hasn't been the worst air quality. It hasn't been the best air quality in southern Alberta. For example, Calgary, we've been moderate on that air quality health index. We will be moderate tomorrow as well, and then throughout the day, it will start to get better. So we'll likely drop to low later in the day tomorrow, basically after 4 p.m. Where we have the poorest air quality is around the Banff area because we're getting some spillover from what's in BC. This will gradually improve as well. So later in the day tomorrow, all of southern Alberta should have better air quality. We're going to get this push out of the southwest, and that should push it up to, well, our friends up there to the north. Edmonton will get a little smokier, and we'll start to clear out in southern Alberta. All right, that's smoke. Now let's talk conditions with regards to active weather. And there is no potential really for tomorrow, but certainly some potential even for severe storms by Sunday. So nothing going on right now, but you can see some clouds starting to push their way in from the southwest. So we're going to have cloudy periods at times for tomorrow. While this model is showing some isolated showers, we may see some really up against the mountains, for example, but less likely to see it anywhere else. Mainly just cloud cover at times. We should see some sunny breaks as well, but it should be stable for tomorrow. As we get into Sunday, though, that's when the system starts to develop over Alberta, and that's going to change the game a little bit. So we have the potential for some isolated showers, small chance for the morning hours, a greater chance for thunderstorms that could even be severe in some spots on Sunday after 4 p.m. Especially basically if you look at QE2 to the west of QE2, along QE2, all the way down to about Olds is where we have a good chance of seeing thunderstorm activity later in the day on Sunday. And also in the southeast corner. Calgary, we could get a little bit of this, but less likely to see it in Calgary. We have a 40% chance of getting that on Sunday after 4 p.m. So tomorrow, stable, just some cloudy periods, a high of 28, but it will feel closer to 30 with the humidity. 27 for Sunday, small chance of thunderstorms after 4 p.m. Monday and Tuesday, temperatures regulate a little bit, so we'll drop down to 24 and 25 degrees by then.
Danielle, thank you so much. Coming up, part of Calgary's historic King Eddie gets a new home after being transformed and outfitted with 6 strings. Stay with us. A ferocious competition brought dancers from 5 countries together in Edmonton. The Pan American Lion Dance Championship and the Canadian National Lion Dance Championship take place this weekend as part of the Edmonton Dragon Festival. Dancers are from Canada, Mexico, Panama, the U.S., and Trinidad and Tobago. The festival celebrates Chinese culture through food, performance, and community events. Inventors and builders can see new life in almost anything. A Calgary craftsman built an electric guitar out of an exit sign. What makes it even cooler is that the sign came out of the old King Eddie Hotel, where he used to listen to live performances. So when he finished it, he donated it to someone who really would appreciate it. Kevin Fleming explains.
It plays a trick on your mind because it sounds like an electric guitar, but it doesn't look like one. David Blitt from the National Music Centre is playing Kevin McCauley's custom-made instrument, who found the exit sign on Kijiji.
Paid him his $20, and as I was leaving his place, he said, I don't know if it means anything to you, but he said, I was on the crew that demolished the old King Eddie Hotel, and he said, this is an exit sign that came out of that. And I thought at the time, well, that's kind of cool.
That piqued McCauley's interest because it was a venue he frequented in the 80s and 90s, listening to all kinds of live performances. First, he cleaned up the sign, then he got to work.
Basically what I did, you can't really tell from here, but I took it apart and I built a exoskeleton, if you will. So it's got a maple box basically inside of that.
McCauley and his wife are members of the National Music Centre, and when he finished the guitar, that's where he took it.
He walked in the door of the National Music Centre in the King Eddie and handed as a gift this exit sign King Eddie guitar. That's really how it happened. He just showed up.
Would you sell us that guitar? He said, we would love to have something from the original King Eddie. And I said, no, absolutely not. I said, it's not for sale, but I said, I'll give it to you.
The head of the museum then commissioned McCauley to build 2 more guitars out of wood saved from the restoration of the old King Eddie.
We were just kind of waiting for someone like him to walk through the door, and he did. And it's great that he's from Calgary, which is even, kind of the cherry on top, right?
I like to think that, this wood was part of the King Eddie, absorbing the musical frequencies for decades, and I wanted to keep it as true to that form as possible.
The electric guitars are now part of the museum's living collection, where artists can play them for the public to enjoy. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
McCauley hopes other guitar makers will see his donation, be inspired to create something unique for the National Music Centre's collection. All right, that's it for us here at CTV News at 11:30. Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.